Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It's Monday morning, January the 8th, 2018, episode number 256. And it's so glad to see you this morning. I had one of those weekends, let me tell you. Friday. Decisions that you make, you pay the price sometimes for the decisions you make. So I hope that your weekend was exceptionally well. I really hope it was awesome because my weekend, I had one of those rough weekends. Yes, I did. They happen. Friday night, I had the brilliant idea that I was going to try cooking something that I never cooked before. And we had some stuff in the fridge. I saw a head of cabbage. I'm like, we got to cook that before it goes bad. And we had a ham bone in the freezer. I'm like, we got to cook that before that gets too bad. So I brought stuff out and I decided, you know what? I have never made homemade ham and cabbage. And I decided that I would make that. So I made myself a massive batch of homemade cabbage. Well, it got done. I ate a bowl of this homemade ham and cabbage. And let me tell you, it was the most exquisite, delicious. Oh, it was so amazing. I had this bowl and I just ate it. Oh, it was so good. So I was like, you know what? I got to have a second bowl. So I went back for a second bowl and I ate it. And I'm like, I could eat a third bowl, but I know I should stop because I just ate a lot of cabbage. So I sat down on the couch. Within 30 minutes, I start feeling some gastro pain, let's just call it. Yes, I saw the writing on the wall that we were going to have some issues. Well, sad to say, my friends, that by the time I went to bed, I was having severe cramping. And it ended up being more than just a little cabbage incident. I don't know if I got a virus. I don't know if there was something in the food that I made. I don't know what I did to myself. But I did not sleep a wink that night, and I spent most of it, yes, yes, curled up on the nice mat on the bathroom floor trying to stay warm. Yes, I did. So it was not good. So I spent the last 2 days rehydrating and eating mashed potatoes and oatmeal to try to regain my strength to start off this week the right way. So I hope your weekend was better than that. So I'm sure that it was, because that's about as low as we can go sometimes, right? So, but anyways, guys, it's Monday morning. It's the start of a whole nother week. Very exciting. The weather is warming up. Today it's going to hit the high 20s, which is amazing. It's going to be a heat wave. I'm excited about it. And it's going to be a great day and a great week. So, on we go. I got some stories I got a hustle shower thought for you. This one, if you're a classic rock radio station listener too, does that even make sense? I don't think it does, but it doesn't matter. This will strike you as very true. But, I mean, listen, classic rock stations have about 200 songs that they've played continuously for the last 40 years. Yeah, it's true. They're playing the same music on the classic rock stations today as they did when I was in my 20s and I turned on the local one around here is Rock 107. Every once in a while you'll hear a song that you're like, wait a minute, that's not classic rock. That was when I was in high school. But that is not usual. Usually it's the stuff that you've been listening to for the same period of time over and over again. What an insight that person had, whoever wrote that down. But I do have some news stories for you this morning, guys. First story I have for you, I found interesting. If you were paying any attention to the news a week ago and you had Donald Trump was tweeting? He was tweeting. Man, I love it that I can't speak. I find it humorous. He was tweeting with Kim Jong-un on who had the biggest nuclear button. It was kind of funny, right? I got a button on my desk. No, I got a button on my desk. Well, I don't have a button on my desk, but I found it, I thought it'd be an interesting story to cover on what really does it take for the United States to launch a nuclear weapon. What really does it take? Is it a button? Is it as big as, hey, mash the button and there it goes? It's not. I think we all know this, right? But what really does it take? Well, here's some insight in this article. Contrary to popular belief, the nuclear football is what the bag is called. It's a briefcase satchel bag, right? Which always accompanies a president, does not contain a button, but instead has the equipment and the decision-making papers that Trump would use to authenticate his orders and launch a strike. The president by himself cannot press a button and cause missiles to fly. He can only give an authenticated order which others would follow, and then missiles would fly. So somebody else, some guy sitting in some remote place, he's the one with the button on his desk. The president, all he's got is a glorified walkie-talkie. Hey, Al, you there? You launched that missile. That's all he's got. He doesn't have a button. But anyways, listen to this. Whether he's in the White House or a motorcade or aboard Air Force One or a trip overseas, Trump is never more than an arm's reach away as the aide carrying the football rides in the same elevator, stays in the same hotel, and is protected by the same Secret Service. So in that satchel, what is in the nuclear football? What's in that bag? There's 4 things in that bag. 1, there is a black book listing a menu of strike options. Strike options. This is like, football coach, right? Cover 4, rush the quarterback, little dinky plane over here, or go Hail Mary all the way, right? There's a book, a menu of strike options. Hopefully he hasn't been going to McDonald's too many times and he's all confused and flustered. He's like, yeah, I'll take the number 5 and supersize it. I hope that's not part of the menu. But also it has a 3x5 inch card with authentication codes for the president to confirm his identity. Then it contains a list of secure bunkers where the president can be sheltered and instructions for using the emergency broadcast system. Those are the 4 things that are inside of the nuclear football and what it would take to actually launch a weapon. So if you were wondering, it's more than just a button. So there you have it though. But next article, this was not on my radar, guys. This is very interesting. So I'm a texter. I think we're all texter. I would tell you that I'm probably not up to date on the social protocol, the new stuff, you know what I mean? When it comes to certain things, some things I am, but some things I'm not. So listen to this article. This is interesting. People have begun noticing slight changes to the way our smallest punctuation mark is deployed. From declarations that it's going out of style to claims that it's becoming angry. What are we talking about? We're talking about the period in a text message. Yes, what they're actually noticing is written language becoming more flexible, with texting possessing its own set of stylistic norms. Though periods can still signal the end of a sentence in a text message, many users will omit them. This tendency now subtly influences how we interpret the period. Because text messaging is a conversation that involves a lot of back and forth, people add fillers as a way to mimic spoken language. We see this with the increased use of ellipses. I don't know what ellipses is. I'm sorry, I just don't. Which can invite the recipient to continue the conversation. The period is the opposite of that. A definitive stop signal. The period in a text message can be taken by people as this is final, this is the end of the discussion. I would have never thought that. Like, I just wouldn't, right? Like, I don't know. Now I got to wonder, do I even use periods? I don't know. I'm going to pay more attention, though. So these are the things that I am not up to date on. Do you use a period when you're texting? Or is it open-ended? Like, I don't know. So maybe I'm missing out, but interesting. As always, there's more to this article. You can read it at themorningroutine.live, as you can read all the other stories that are on there for your enjoyment, and you can share them and send them to other people if you found an article interesting and stuff like that. So the last little article I want to share with you, just a little kind of history, kind of cool. You're definitely going to want to go and look at this, though. So remember, that's themorningroutine.live is our morning routine website, and today's episode. In here, this third article, you're going to want to see the picture because I think it's kind of cool. This is a grocery list sketched by Michelangelo. Yes, Michelangelo, the famous artist, needed groceries, so he has a guy working for him that he needs to send to the grocery store, so he writes a grocery list of what he wants to eat, but then, according to this article, the guy might not be able to read, so he has to draw pictures of what it is that he wants. And there's an actual picture of this thing. It's held in an archive somewhere. This is pretty cool. According to Michelangelo's shopping list, genius thrives on a diet of fish, bread, and lots of wine. That's the pictures that he drew in this. This 500-year-old list was written and illustrated by Michelangelo on the back of a letter. Michelangelo's servant was likely illiterate, so Michelangelo sketched out what he wanted to eat. Michelangelo wanted a feast spread out over 3 meals. He depicted bread rolls as quickly drawn circles, and for one meal, Michelangelo wanted 2 rolls. For another, he wanted 6. On the page, an elegant herring floats in the air while bowls overflow with salad and anchovies. He basically drew what he wanted to eat for dinner or for his meals. I mean, this is kind of cool. The menu consists mostly of vegetables, fish, wine, and bread. This might seem particularly healthy, but the letter on the other side of the list is dated March 18th, 1518, around the time of Lent. Since eating meat was frowned upon, Michelangelo was eating the vegetable diet because it was the time of Lent. How about that? That is really, really cool. You got to check it out. Just the pictures I thought were kind of neat. So, but anyways, a little history for you there. So on we go, guys. Let's move on. Google Trends, the top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number 1, top of the list, Golden Globes 2018. Didn't see them. I'm sure that they were great. Number 2, 75th Golden Globe Awards nominees and winners. That is actually the full searched thing. People actually typed out 75th Golden Globe Awards nominees and winners. What? Who does that? I do notice there's no period at the end of that, though. So, okay. Next, we have Kirk Douglas, 101 years old, man. That's amazing. Number 4, James Franco. Number 5, Oprah. Number 6, Sam Rockwell. Number 7, Laura Dern. Number 8, The Handmaid's Tale. Number 9, Tanya Harding. Number 10, Saoirse Ronan. Every single thing on the top 10 Google search has to do with the Golden Globes. That's amazing, and I didn't even see it. So, very good. On we go then. Trending news. What's trending on the news this morning? Top of the list, United States Navy. The U.S. joined search for 32 missing after ships collide off China. That happened last week. Next story is Sony. Wow, traditions matter. Sony announces the Xperia XA2 and Xperia XA2 Ultra. I don't even know what those are. Are they phones? I guess they're phones, right? After that, we have Cal Stirs. Apple faces activist pressure over children's iPhone use. Okay. Then we have SpaceX. SpaceX mysterious Zuma mission may finally take flight on Sunday. Then we have the 75th Golden Globe Awards. Then we have JFK International Airport. New York's JFK Airport turns into a mob scene as disasters continue to pile on. They've had all those weather issues out there and things like that. I'm sure it's a mess all the way out there. Next, we have Carolina Panthers versus New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints, of course, won that game yesterday. Next, we have Steelton, Pennsylvania. 2 charged after dog found outside in the freezing cold. After that, we have Intel. Intel and AMD announces first Core i5 and i7 chips with Radeon graphics. Techie Talk. And the last story we have is fake news. Trump sets new date for fake news awards. Cites greater than anticipated interest. That's funny. I don't know. I find that humorous. So, but anyways, that's our trending news for today, guys. Let's move on. Let's enjoy ourselves a passage of wisdom this morning. Today's passage of wisdom is 4 verses, all on the same theme. I figured that this was, we're starting off this new year with new resolutions and a new game plan and a new focus, hopefully, on what it is that we want to accomplish. Hopefully, we're not just taking this year and let's see what it gives me. Hopefully, we're being proactive and what do we want to make out of this year? What do we want to do with this year? And so this morning routine is going to continue, or this passage of wisdom is going to continue on that trend of maybe stirring up our thoughts and challenging us. So this one here, Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 through 12. 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can you keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. So obviously you can see the theme in this. The theme in this is that don't try to go it alone. That's the theme. It is. 2 or 3 is better than 1. And as you have set your game plan for 2018, and maybe you have some resolutions and things that you would like to accomplish, don't try to go it alone. Don't try to do life alone. You don't have to be isolated. Isolated may sound easier because it's just you and you don't have to disappoint anybody or let anybody down or interact. No, it's not healthy. You have to do life with other people, and it will make you stronger and help you achieve more. Share your resolutions with another person. Join with somebody else to help keep each other accountable, whatever it might be. You will accomplish more by doing it. And if you want to accomplish the things that you say that you want to do, then do it. It's that easy. So great passage. I love it. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Let's pray, guys. Let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, this morning I want to thank you for this great Monday morning. Father, I want to thank you for the amazing healing power of the human body that you created. That no matter how sick we can get sometimes, that the human body that you've created so miraculously is this self-healing machine. It's just unbelievable. And I thank you for that ability to heal that way after being down this weekend with an illness. And it's just amazing, your creation, Father. To think about the power of the human eye or how skin heals itself. I mean, Father, sometimes I watch a science fiction movie and I'm like, that's so space age. But Father, it happens right now. That's how you've created each and every one of us. It blows my mind. Father, I thank you for this passage that you've given us, the reminder to not do life alone, to join with another person or even more than one other person, to work towards our goals and passions with other people, and that we're stronger with others than we are by ourselves. To live in community is much better than to live isolated. Father, be with us today as we go through our day. Keep us safe. Help us keep on track. Help us to be reminded to keep you at the forefront of our goals and what we're striving for. The things that we say, the decisions that we make today are all focused on where it is that you are calling us to go and not on selfish-driven desires. We thank you for this passage. We thank you for your love and grace. Amen. And that, my friends, is a magnificent wrap to the morning routine. Thank you for being here this morning. I hope that your Monday is a fantastic day. And until tomorrow morning when we meet again, don't forget that today is a great opportunity for you right there, to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. Have a great day.